Anyone can read out the homework? We have to do some word meanings.
Yes, ma'am.
How many word meanings did we have to do?
50.
Who can read out the 15 word meanings? You have sent me your homework. So you will be able to read out the words. Shaunak, have you sent me the homework?
What, ma'am?
Have you posted the homework to me?
No, ma'am, I don't have the textbook and all. And my
So,
phone is currently choked. So,
okay, if you don't have the textbook, are you looking into ordering it from Flipkart or going to some bookstore or maybe?
ma'am, they are not, actually, they are not delivering the book here.
Okay,
Amazon is
then
not.
are you looking into a soft copy of the textbook? All those who
Yes,
don't have
ma'am.
the book, you can
I'll try, ma'am.
try to download a soft copy of the textbook.
Sure, ma'am, I'll add it in another phone.
Yeah, because without a textbook, it will be very difficult for you to follow the chapters or even do the homework. So
Okay,
some of
ma'am.
you are joining me for the first day today. So don't worry, you have missed only one class. So we will try to make up for the missed portion. But someone who was there in the last class can please tell me read out the 15 word meanings that we have done. Which book were we following? For 11th standard, you have two books. One is Snapshot and one is Hornbill. Which book did we start last time?
Hornbill.
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 So everybody get your Hornbill ready. If you see the index page, the first chapter is The Portrait of a Lady by Khushwant Singh. So that is the chapter that we have started last week. Anyone who's ready with the 15 word meanings that were given for homework?
Me.
Aditya? Devansh, you are ready with the words? Read them out, beta.
First was hard to believe. Second,
Yes.
mantelpiece.
Let us say the
Third,
meaning. Say the meaning of the word also.
second, mantelpiece. Thin table on the top of fireplace. Fourth,
Correct?
best part of that. Most of most of the part. Fifth, absurd, illogical. Sixth, undignified with no respect. Seventh, fables. Short fictitious stories with a moral.
Very good.
Eighth, hobbled, to walk slowly due to pain. Ninth, stoop, to bend shoulders and head forward and downwards. 10th, rosary, a string of small bead used for counting prayers. 11th, silver locks, grey rough hairs. 12th, puckered, wrinkled. 13th, serenity, calm. 14th, contentment, satisfactorily. And 15th, monotonous, never change and therefore boring.
Very good. Very good, Devansh. Okay. So these were the 15 word meanings that you have to do for homework. What else was given to you for homework last week?
Ma'am, 2 questions of working with words.
Ma'am, not two, three questions of
Three,
working
all
with
the
words.
three.
All
So,
the three.
so on page number 7 in your textbook, page number 7, working with words. Notice the following uses of the word tell in the text. The first one is her fingers were busy telling the beads of her rosary. Now, if you look at the next page, again, they have given 4 options, 1, 2, 3, 4. I asked you to change the 1 to A, 2 will become B, 3 will become C, and 4 will become D. the 4 options on page number 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, you make it ABCD. Okay. So now the first option on page number 7, her fingers were busy telling the beads of her rosary. What does it match with? A, B, C, or D? Yes,
B.
Advait, right. B, beta.
B.
Yes. The second, I would tell her English words and little things of Western science and learning. What
D.
does? No, not D.
A.
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 It matches with
A.
A.
Yeah.
Because
A.
option A is saying make something known to someone in spoken or written words. And D is saying give information to someone. Okay. On page number 7, the third option is at her age, one could never tell. So again, the word tell has been used. What does 3 match with?
C.
C option. Be sure. At her age, one could never be sure whether she will survive or not survive. And of course, option 4, she told us that her end was near. That is option D, to
D.
give information to somebody. Okay. So 1 is matching with B, 2 is matching with A, 3 is matching with C, and 4 is matching with D. Anything else that was given for homework last week? So we have completed the homework. Now, if you come to the beginning of the chapter, I would like somebody to read till we have done. We have done till the second paragraph on page number 4. So somebody please start reading page number 3. Who would like to read? Charuvi, is your mic working?
Yes, ma'am.
Please start reading page number 3. My grandmother.
My grandmother, like everybody's grandmother, was an old woman. She had been old and wrinkled for the 20 years that I had known her. People said that she had once been young and pretty and had even had a husband, but that was hard to believe. My grandfather's portrait hung above the mantelpiece in the drawing room. He wore a big turban and loose-fitting clothes. His long, white beard covered the best part of his chest, and he looked at least 100 years old. He did not look the sort of person who would have a wife or children. He looked as if he could only have lots and lots of grandchildren. As for my grandmother, being young and pretty, the thought was almost revolting. She often told us of the games she used to play as a child. That seemed quite absurd and undignified on her part, and we treated it like the fables of the prophets she used to tell us. She had always been short and fat and slightly bent. Her
Charuvi,
face,
1 minute.
yes,
Beta.
ma'am.
So in this
Yeah.
paragraph, the author is telling us about his grandmother. Okay, his grandmother, the appearance of his grandfather. The author is Khushwant Singh, and this is an autobiographical style of writing wherein the I in the chapter is Khushwant Singh himself. He's telling about his childhood and about his grandmother and grandfather. The grandfather is already dead, so his picture is hanging on top, and here is the grandmother. In doing so, now children, make a point of this in your English notebook, or if you have your textbook, write that. In narrating this autobiographical anecdote from his life, Khushwant Singh is painting a picture of his grandmother. Thus, the title of the story is very much appropriate, The Portrait of a Lady. Because he's painting a picture with his words of a lady, and that lady being his own real grandmother. So if there is a question on the title, this is what you have to write. Okay, Charuvi, continue.
He had always been short and
Ma'am, can you repeat what you told?
About the title.
Yes, ma'am.
So Khushwant Singh has written this lesson in the autobiographical style of writing. Autobiographical style of writing. In this chapter, he is telling us things about his childhood. He is narrating anecdotes about his relationship
Ma'am, he is narrating.
anecdotes, anecdotes, anecdotes about his grandmother. What was I saying about his relationship with his grandmother? Something like this I was saying.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Relationship.
Yes, he is narrating anecdotes about his relationship with his grandmother. In doing so, he is painting a picture of his grandmother through the use of words. In doing so, he is painting a picture of his grandmother through the use of words full stop. Thus, the title of the chapter The Portrait of a Lady, Khushwant Singh is painting a picture of his grandmother. So you see, the chapter is nothing about painting pictures or colors or anything. That's why we are saying that Khushwant Singh is painting a portrait of his grandmother with the use of words, because he is not an artist, he's a writer, he's not a painter. So that's why he gives the title The Portrait of a Lady. And the lady in the chapter is his own real grandmother. Now can we continue?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Charuvi, please continue reading the second paragraph.
Yes, ma'am. She had always been short and fat and slightly bent. Her face was a crisscross of wrinkles running from everywhere to everywhere. No, we were certain she had always been, as we had known her, old, so terribly old that she could not have grown older and had stayed at the same age for 20 years. She could have never have she could never have been pretty, but she was always beautiful. She hobbled about the house in spotless white, with one hand resting on her waist to balance her stoop and the other telling the beads of her rosary. Her silver locks were scattered untidily over her pale, puckered face, and her lips constantly moved in inaudible prayer. Yes, she was beautiful. She was like the winter landscape in the mountains, an escape of an expanse of pure white serenity, breathing peace and contentment. Ma'am, should I continue?
Charuvi, 1 minute. I will explain what is happening in this paragraph. In this
Yeah.
paragraph, he is describing the physical appearance of his grandmother. So if there is a question on describing how the grandmother looked, then this paragraph will answer that question. Because from this paragraph onwards, he doesn't talk about the physical appearance, but now he starts talking about her character. He talks about his relationship with her. He talks about her reactions to what is happening in his life. Okay, so we are done with the physical appearance of his grandmother. Now we will go uh, into the depths of the relationship that the grandmother and grandson have with each other and how it changes over a period of time. Okay, Charuvi, continue.
My grandmother and I were good friends. My parents left me with her when they went to live in the city, and we were constantly together. She used to wake me up in the morning and get me ready for school. She said her morning prayer in a monotonous sing-song while she bathed and dressed me in the hope that I would listen and get to know it by heart. I listened because I loved her voice, but never bothered to learn it. Then she would fetch my wooden slate, which she had already washed and plastered with yellow chalk, a tiny earthen ink pot, and a red pen, tied them all in a bundle, and hand it to me. After a breakfast of a thick stale chapati with a little butter and sugar spread on it, we went to school. She carried several stale chapatis with her for the village dawn.
In this paragraph, Kushwant Singh is telling us about the first phase. Yes, Kushi, you want to ask something?
Ma'am, can you please tell the meaning of an expanse of pure white serenity?
He is comparing the clothes that his grandmother wears to a large field which is white in color. Because the grandmother is wearing white salwar kameezes, white kurta, white salwar, white dupatta. So he is comparing her to a large field which is white in color. Okay?
Okay, ma'am, thank you.
Yes, an expanse of pure white serenity. Serenity means something that brings about a peace and calm in you.
Okay,
Okay,
ma'am.
yeah. Then in this paragraph that Charuvi just read, uh, the author is telling us about the first phase of his life with his grandmother. Because this is the village life wherein both of them are in the village because Kushwant Singh's parents have already moved to the city, but he is staying in the village with his grandmother. She gets him ready every day and takes him to school. She spends her time also in the temple that is next to the school. She recites her prayer, and he in the school is also made to recite prayers and recite some tables so that they can learn them. And on the way they feed the dogs. Now this is till where we have done last week. So now we will continue from there. We are on page number 4. This is the third paragraph on page number 4. So have your books ready. Keep a pencil in your hand. If you don't have books, you're referring to the soft copy of the book. Have that in front of you. Keep your English notebook ready with a pencil in your hand so that you can make a note of what all we are doing today. Now he goes on to say, my grandmother always went to school with me because the school was attached to the temple. The priest taught us the alphabet and the morning prayer, while the children sat in rows on either side of the veranda. What is a veranda? Any idea?
Open space.
A balcony, almost like a balcony. A huge balcony is a veranda. So that will be your first word for word meaning homework today.
Open
Why?
space in front of temple.
An open space in front of a temple? No. Veranda is a large balcony. While the children sat in rows on either side of the veranda, singing the alphabet or the prayers in a chorus. What is a chorus?
Single unified manner.
So what is happening is that the entire class is, all the students of the class are singing the alphabets, reciting it loudly. They are reciting the prayers loudly. So that is a chorus. So singing together is chorus. My grandmother sat inside reading the scriptures. What are scriptures? What are scriptures? Scriptures are the holy books. When you are reading the holy book, that means you are reading the scriptures. So up till now, we have 3 words for word meanings: veranda, chorus, and scriptures. Make a note of these words, make a note of the meaning, because you
Can
have
you
to
please
do it.
tell again the meaning of chorus?
Chorus, singing together. Because you have to do this as homework: veranda, chorus, and scriptures. We have done 3 words up till now. When we had both finished, we would walk back together. This time the village dogs would meet us at the temple door. They followed us to our home, growling and fighting with each other. What is the meaning of the word growling? When the dogs are growling, what are they doing? Growling is sounds made by the animal, because they are not saying that the dogs were barking, but they are growling. They are making,
Gurana.
yes, gurana. They are making certain. So growling are sounds made by animals. They followed us to our home, growling and fighting with each other for the chapatis we threw to them. So in this paragraph, the author is telling us about the event, how they used to go to school, what they used to do, and how they used to come back. What was their daily routine? Who would like to read this paragraph? Aditya,
Yes, ma'am.
please read this paragraph.
Yes, ma'am. My grandmother always went to school with me because the school was attached to the temple. The priest taught us the alphabet and the morning prayer. While the children sat in rows on either side of the veranda, singing the alphabet or the prayer in a chorus, my grandmother sat inside reading the scriptures. When we had both finished, we would walk back together. This time, the village dogs would meet us at the temple door. They followed us to our home, growling and fighting with each other for the chapatis we threw to them.
Very good, Aditya. Now moving on, when my parents were comfortably settled in the city, they sent for us. What is the meaning of sent for us?
Ma'am, they sent
Called
me.
them.
They called them. They called them where? Where were they called? To the
To
city.
the
To
city.
the
To the
city.
city.
From where? From
From
where
the
were they
village.
called? From
From
the
village.
village.
Grandmother's home.
So right now, Kushwant Singh and his grandmother are staying in the village when they are going to the school and feeding the dogs. Then the parents of Kushwant Singh have called Kushwant Singh as well as his grandmother. They have called them to the city. That was a turning point in our friendship. What is the meaning of a turning point?
A change, big change.
Exactly. A turning point is a point from where there is a change. Here, what is going to happen in this case? There is going to be a change in the relationship between grandson and grandmother. So this will be our next word meaning, turning point. That was a turning point in our friendship. Whose friendship?
Kushwant Singh and his grandmother.
Very good. Although we shared the same room, my grandmother no longer came to school with me. I used to go to an English school in a motor bus. There were no dogs in the streets, and she took to feeding sparrows in the courtyard of our city house. So you see, there is a change in their routine. Earlier, they both used to go to school together walking, and she used to be next door while he was in school, and they used to come back together and they used to feed the dogs. Now, this routine cannot happen. Why?
Because in the city,
Yeah, they are in the city. So what has changed? Why can't she take him to the school?
Now he goes to the school via motor bus.
By a motor bus. And there are no dogs on the way to feed the dogs. So what is she doing to replace that?
She is feeding sparrows.
Sparrows, exactly. What is the Marathi word for sparrow? Chimnea. Chimnea. That is sparrow in Marathi. Okay. So that is the end of this paragraph. Who would like to read this? Nutan Polenini. Nutan Polenini.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you read this paragraph for us?
Yes, ma'am. When my parents were comfortably settled in the city, they sent for us. That was a turning point in our friendship. Although we shared the same room, my grandmother no longer came to school with me. I used to go to an English school in a motor bus. There were no dogs in the streets, and she took to feeding sparrows in the courtyard in our city house.
Very good. As the years rolled by, we saw less of each other. What is the meaning of the phrase rolled by?
As the years passed on,
Passed by. Rolled by is passed by. So how many word meanings do we have up till now?
7.
7 word meanings from page number 4. As the years rolled by, we saw less of each other. For some time, she continued to wake me up and get me ready for school. When I came back, she would ask me what the teacher had taught me. I would tell her English words and little things of Western science and learning, the law of gravity, Archimedes' principle, the world being round, etc. This made her unhappy. She could not help me with my lessons. So when she heard the things that were taught to Kushwant Singh in his new school, why was she unhappy? Was she happy that these things are being taught to
ma'am,
him?
because the things could.
She
No,
was not.
ma'am, she was unhappy.
So why was she unhappy? Because
she wasn't able to teach him that.
Very good,
Because
Asta. Because she is not having a knowledge of those things. What are the things that he was being taught in school?
Western science and English.
English and Western science.
And what else?
Archimedes principle.
And
Law of
what
gravity
else?
and the Archimedes principle.
Law
The
of
world
gravity
being round.
and the world being round. So if there's a question on what were the things taught to Kushwant Singh in his school in the city, this is your answer. Was grandmother happy? No. What is the reason? She could not teach him these things anymore. She did not believe in the things they taught at the English school and was distressed that there was no teachings about God and the scripture. What is the meaning about distress? What is the meaning of distressed?
Tensed.
I beg your pardon?
Mentally disturbed.
Tensed.
Disturbed.
Disturbed, troubled, that is distressed. And why was she troubled? Because she could not teach him, that is why she was troubled? No, that is why she was unhappy. But why was she distressed? Why was she troubled? Because
There was no teaching about
They
the
were
God.
not teaching about God and scriptures.
absolutely. So she was unhappy because of a different reason, and she was distressed because of a different reason. One day I announced that we were being given music lessons. Who is this I? One day I announced. Who is I?
One
Pushwant
Singh.
Singh.
Pushwant Singh.
Singh, the author. So one day I announced that we were being given music lessons. है ना, हमारे स्कूल में music class होती है. So he also went home and told his grandmother, "Hey, we have music class also." She was very disturbed. To her, music had lewd associations. What is lewd? Lewd. What is the meaning of this word?
Low value.
Low value, negative, something that is not positive, something that doesn't need to be taught to sophisticated people. So take this as a word meaning, lewd meaning negative. It was the crude, no beta, not crude, negative. It was the monopoly of harlots and beggars. What is the meaning of monopoly?
Complete
Work,
control
business. Okay.
over something.
Singular ownership. Monopoly means singular ownership. Now, singular ownership of whom? Of harlots and beggars. We know who are beggars. Who are harlots? Harlots are the indecent people of the society. Like we have the sophisticated class in the society, those who are very rich. We have the learned people in the society, those are the lawyers, the judges. We call them the learned people of the society. Like that, we also have the harlots of the society. That means they are the indecent, the negative people in the society. So you see, according to the grandmother, music was not something that should be taught to the decent, sophisticated, educated people. It is something that belongs to the low people, the negative people, the indecent people of the society. To her, music had lewd associations. It was the monopoly of harlots and beggars, and not meant for gentle folk. What is the meaning of gentle folk?
Layman.
Learn and
Educated people of the society. Well-to-do people of the society. That is the gentle folk. So she believes that she and her family are the gentle folk of the society, and that's why they should not be learning about music. She said nothing, but her silence meant disapproval. She rarely talked to me after that. So there is a change in their relationship now. She did not say anything, but she became silent. She's becoming a little withdrawn. There isn't that kind of a relationship like they used to share in the village. Who can read this paragraph for me? Parth? Is Parth there?
Ma'am, actually my network is a little off.
Okay, okay. Aryan, can you read?
Yes, ma'am. As the years rolled by, we saw less of each other. For some time, she continued to wake me up and get me ready for school. When I came back, she would ask me what the teacher had taught me. I would tell her English words and little things of Western science and learning, the law of gravity, Archimedes' principle, the world being round, etc. This made her unhappy. She could not help me with my lessons. She did not believe in the things they taught at the English school and was distressed that there was no teaching about God and the scriptures. One day, I announced that we were being given music lessons. She was very disturbed. To her, music had lurid associations. It was the monopoly of harlots and beggars and not meant for the gentle folk. She said nothing, but her silence meant disapproval. She rarely talked to me after that.
Very good, Aryan. Now I will proceed with the chapter further. When I went up to university, I was given a room of my own. The common link of friendship was snapped. What is the meaning of the word snapped?
Broken.
Broken. Take that as one of your word meanings. My grandmother accepted her seclusion with resignation. What is the meaning of the word seclusion?
Left alone.
Isolation.
Yeah,
Very good.
Separate.
She left alone to be in isolation, to be cut off from the rest of the family. That is seclusion. What is the meaning of the word resignation?
Acceptance.
Exactly. When you accept something without saying a word, without putting up a fight, that is resignation. Accepting without putting up a fight. My grandmother accepted her seclusion with resignation. She rarely left her spinning wheel. What is a spinning wheel?
Charkha.
Yes, exactly. The Gandhiji ka charkha, which is a rudimentary mechanism to prepare thread out of a ball of cotton. That is a spinning wheel. So the grandmother used to sit very often at the spinning wheel. My grandmother accepted her seclusion with resignation. She rarely left her spinning wheel to talk to anyone. From sunrise to sunset, she sat by her wheel, spinning and reciting prayers. Only in the afternoon, she relaxed for a while to feed the sparrows. While she sat in the veranda, breaking the bread into little bits, hundreds of little birds collected around her, creating a veritable bedlam of chirrupings. What is the meaning of veritable?
Actual.
I beg your pardon?
नहीं पता.
नहीं, आपने क्या बोला था वो तो बोलो. What had you said?
Actual. Truth. Something like that.
No. Veritable is coming from a variety, a variation. So veritable means different, of a great variety is veritable. What is bedlam? Bedlam is confusion, chaos, confusion. What is chirrupings?
Bird chirpings.
Very good. That is the chirping of the birds. So now if we put these three words together, a veritable bedlam of chirrupings. What is the meaning of that?
A variety of confusing chirpings.
Yeah, so while she's there in the veranda, breaking that bread into tiny pieces, hundreds of birds are coming to peck on those pieces of bread, and they are making a sound which is chaotic in nature. There is no rhythm and chorus in it, and it is chirpings of multiple birds. So there's a variety of chirpings. Okay. Some came and perched on her legs. What is the meaning of the word perched?
Sitting for birds.
Come again.
Ma'am, what is the meaning of bedlam? Can you repeat?
Bedlam is confusion, beta.
Thank you, ma'am.
Somebody had said the meaning of perched. What was that?
Sitting for
Sat on
birds.
her leg.
Sat. Yes. Human beings sit. Birds perch. So perched means sat. Some came and perched on her legs, others on her shoulders. Some even sat on her head. She smiled but never shooed them away. What is the meaning of shooed them away?
Scare them away.
To scare them away with a flick of the hand, make them run away. She never did all this. Who is the she over here?
Grandmother.
Grandmother.
Grandmother. Who is the them?
Birds.
Birds. It used to be the happiest half hour of the day for her. Put a box on the phrase half hour, because the author is telling us that she used to spend half an hour feeding the birds every day. Okay, so in this paragraph, he is telling us that when he went to the university, that means his school is over and he's gone to the college level now, he was given a separate room. Up till now, he was staying in the same room with his grandmother. Now his grandmother and the grandson, they are in two separate rooms because the grandson has grown up a little bit. So the parents thought we should give him a separate room. So now, because they are in two separate rooms, further communication between them has dropped. They are communicating even less now. And she is spending a lot of her time doing three activities. What are the three activities which she is spending her time in?
Spinning, praying, and feeding the birds.
Very good. Spinning, praying, and feeding the birds. Who would like to read this paragraph? Ayush,
Yes, ma'am.
please read this paragraph.
When I decided to go abroad for further studies, I was sure my mother would be upset. I would be away for 5 years, and at her age, one could never tell. But my grandmother could.
Ayush, you
Yes,
are
ma'am.
reading the next
Ma'am, he is
paragraph.
reading the next paragraph.
Yes, I want you to read the paragraph which I have just finished explaining. When
Oh,
I
sorry,
went
ma'am.
up
Okay.
to university. Yeah, no problem.
When I went up to university, I was given a room of my own. The common link of friendship was snapped. My grandmother accepted her seclusion and resignation. She rarely left her spinning wheel to talk anyone. From sunrise to sunset, she sat by her wheel spinning and reciting prayers. Only in the afternoon she realized for a while to feed the sparrows. While she sat in the veranda breaking the bread into little bits, hundreds of little birds collected round her, creating a veritable chirping. Some came and perched on her legs, others on her shoulders. Some even sat on her head. She smiled but never shooed them away. It used to be happiest half hour of the day for her.
Thank you, Ayush.
Welcome.
When I decided to go abroad for further studies, I was sure my grandmother would be upset. I would be away for 5 years. Put a box on 5 years. I would be away for 5 years. And at her age, one could never tell. What is the meaning of the phrase, one could never tell?
She might someday die. Something like that.
Exactly. Now he is going away. Yes. Can't understand what you're saying. Okay. So he's going away for a period of 5 years, and he's saying that at her age one could never tell, meaning when he returns after 5 years, he's not sure that when I return after 5 years, will she be alive or will she have already died while I was in the university? So at her age, one could never tell. So that is another word meaning you will take for homework. One could never tell. But my grandmother could. She was not even sentimental. She came to leave me at the railway station, but did not talk or show any emotion. Her lips moved in prayer. Her mind was lost in prayer. Her fingers were busy telling the beads of her rosary. What is the meaning of the word rosary?
Necklace with beads.
Not necklace. It's a string of beads, okay, but it is not used to wearing around your own neck. It is used to reciting prayers. Jisko in Hindi we call it jaap ki mala. So it has these big beads, and with each bead you mention the name of God. you know so you've seen some old ladies doing that. Sometimes it is rudraksh, sometimes it can be crystal beads, sometimes it can be glass beads. And generally, do you know how many beads generally are there in a rosary?
108.
108.
108. That's right. So they do their reciting in repetitions of 108, and at the end of 108, where 1 and 108 joins, there will be a string of 2 3 beads, so that you know that your 108 is over. you know so that is a rosary. Now he's saying that my grandmother was busy telling the beads of a rosary. That means, what was she doing?
She was reciting the prayers.
Reciting
She
the
was repeating the
name
name
of
of
God
God. Yeah.
after the beads.
So you're taking rosary also as one of the words for word meaning. Silently she kissed my forehead, and when I left, I cherished the moist imprint as perhaps the last sign of physical contact between us. Cherished means what? What is the meaning of the word cherished?
Appreciated.
To remember something as a fond memory
Appreciated.
is cherished. To enjoy something, that is rare, that is a rare occasion for you. To cherish something. The moist imprint. What is the moist? What is the meaning of the word moist? What is another?
Wet.
Damp. Damp. D-A-M-P. Damp is moist. It is a lesser degree of wetness. You know, when someone kisses you on the forehead, that wetness, that dampness that you have on the feeling, that is moist. So moist will be another word for word meaning. So I cherished the moist imprint as perhaps the last sign of physical contact between us. So now in this paragraph, he is leaving for 5 years. He is going abroad for his studies, and his grandmother has come to the station to leave him, and he is having thoughts of, is this the last time I'm seeing my grandmother alive? When I come back after 5 years, will she already be dead by then? But she is not feeling like this because she did not get sentimental. She only gave him a kiss on his forehead, and that too, she kept reciting her prayers. So she was not worried, that, oh, this may be the last time. He is worried, but she is not worried. Okay. Who would like to read this paragraph? Samyak. Samyak. S-A-M-M-Y-A-K.
Yes, ma'am.
Am I pronouncing your name properly, beta?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can you read this paragraph for the class, please?
When I decided to go abroad for further studies, I was sure my grandmother would be upset. I would be away for 5 years, and at her age, no one could tell. One could never tell, but my grandmother could. She was not even sentimental. She came to leave me at the railway station but did not talk or show any emotion. Her lips moved in prayer, her mind was lost in prayer. Her fingers were busy telling the beads of her rosary. Silently, she kissed my forehead, and when I left, I cherished the most imprint as perhaps the last sign of physical contact between us.
The moist imprint. Okay. Now, this is the last paragraph that we will do for today. But that was not so. After 5 years, I came back home and was met by her at the station. So, that was not so. What is that? What is he talking about? Huh.
It was not the last time he met her.
Yeah, so that was not so, meaning she was still alive because he had feared, no? She did not look a day older. She still had no time for words. And while she clasped me in her arms means what?
Hugged me.
Hugged tightly.
Hugged tightly. I could hear her reciting her prayers. Even on the first day of my arrival, her happiest moments were with her sparrows, whom she fed longer and with frivolous rebukes. What is the meaning of the phrase frivolous rebukes? What is frivolous?
Useless scoldings.
No. Useless what?
Useless scoldings.
Useless scoldings. So frivolous is something that is useless, meaning it does not have any meaning to it. And rebukes is when you are shouting at somebody. So she is having a good time with her sparrows. She is feeding them, and now she's spending more. Earlier, how long she used to sit in the veranda earlier?
Half an hour.
Before
Half an hour.
Now she's
Half an
spending
hour.
more time with her sparrows, and she is having an interaction with them. She you know in a playful manner. She's having a interaction with them. She's kind of shouting at them and interacting with them. So here it is this frivolous rebukes. Who can read this paragraph for us? Where is Chaital? Chaital, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you read this paragraph for us, beta?
Yes, ma'am. But that was not so. After 5 years, I came back home and was met by her at the station. She did not look a day older. She still had no time for words, and while she clasped me in her arms, I could hear her reciting a prayer. Even on the first day of my arrival, her happiest moments were with the sparrows, whom she fed longer with the frivolous rebukes.
So somehow it is the first day of his arrival back, but she is more excited about feeding the sparrows than spending time with him. Okay, so this is where we have stopped. We have moved from the village to the city to university, then abroad, and now he's back from abroad. Now what happens after this we will take up in the next class. I want you to come to page number 6. Look at question number 2. Page number 6, question number 2. Where is Pratiksha?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you read the question for us, beta?
Yes, ma'am. Mention the 3 reasons why the author's grandmother was disturbed when he started going to the city school.
Very good. So this can be almost a 3-mark question. For 3 marks, you are expected to write 3 points in this answer. What do you think are the 3 points? Why was she upset and disturbed when he started going? Yes, beta.
They were not teaching anything
Not
First,
anything about
no,
God.
about God and
God.
scriptures.
And then second was
She
music.
could no more teach him.
She was not able to teach
And they
him.
were teaching music.
And
Yes,
they were
ma'am.
teaching music. Also, there is one more reason that she was not able to drop him to school because he used to go by school bus. So she did not like that. Then she could not teach him anything because the subjects that were taught to him in school, like English and Western sciences, she was not familiar with those subjects, and so she could not teach him. So she was unhappy. And the third point is that no scriptures were being taught in the school. Instead, they were teaching them things like music, which is not meant for the elite class of the society. These are your 3 reasons. The school bus and the English and Western sciences, that is your first point. Second point. Third point is not scriptures but music. Okay, these are your 3 points. So you will take question 2 for homework. Now come to page number 7, talking about the text. Kavya. Kavya. Kavya is not able to hear me. Class, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, can
Kavya
my
is
network
not
was
responding.
my network was not there. Can you repeat the homework again?
Up till now, the homework is word meanings. How many word meanings do we have? Can someone count and tell me? Page number 4, 5, and page number 4 and 5. How many words do we have?
20.
I think 25.
Up till now total or just that 2 pages that we have done today?
I think 25 there.
I have 29 to 30 words. 7 words are on page number 4. How many words are there on page number 5?
We are talking about total
Not
or
total,
just
beta.
today's?
Today, only today.
25.
26.
Yes, ma'am. About 25.
26, ma'am.
No, 20 it is.
22.
26.
22 words on page number 5 and 7 words on page number 4. That means 29 words for homework. Plus page number 6, question number 2. Now come to page number 7. I need somebody to read talking about the text. Kavya was not able to respond. Who just asked, may I?
Ma'am, me, Aditya.
Aditya, can you read talking about the text?
Yes, ma'am. Talk to your first question. The author's grandmother was a religious person. What are the different ways in which we come to know this?
No, 1 minute. Don't read talking about the text. We need to finish the chapter to be able to answer that. Read thinking about language.
Okay, ma'am. So first question. Which language do you think the author and his grandmother used while talking to each other?
Very good. What are the probable answers here?
Possibly English or any other dialects.
Punjabi.
No, Hindi.
I don't think it was
Hindi or
English.
Punjabi.
Hindi or
Yes,
Punjabi.
Hindi or
Punjabi.
Punjabi. Because his
Okay,
question was saying.
why are we thinking Punjabi?
Because his surname
Because
was
grandfather wears pagadi.
Yes, you are right. So if you will look up the internet for
Yeah,
Khushwant
he had a
Singh,
turban.
he is a Sardar, not just he had a turban, he is a Sardarji. So obviously the language that he and his grandmother must have been talking would be Punjabi. So the answer to that question will be Punjabi. You can write it in your
Also, it can
textbook.
be Sindhi, right?
I doubt. We are talking about so many years ago. So I think they would be conversing in Punjabi.
Yes,
Sindhi was
ma'am.
also the
Don't
one
we
of
also
the main
notice
language.
our grandmother will not talk to us in Hindi. She will talk to us in our language, you know. Grandmothers, no? They are
And
like
because in
that.
Punjab,
Yes,
Sindhi
ma'am.
and Punjabi are the two main languages.
I agree with you. I totally agree with you. Okay,
Sindhi
question
is
number.
previous.
Acha,
Used.
earlier.
Earlier, it was mainly Sindhi.
Yes. So now go on to read question number 2, please.
Yes, ma'am. Second question. Which language do you use to talk to elderly relatives in your family?
That's personal.
Yeah, that's.
What would be the answer to this question?
Third question.
No. Second question, what is the answer to this question?
Ma'am, every person would have been different.
Yes.
Yeah.
Our mother tongue, basically.
Exactly is what I'm
In our
looking
mother
for.
tongue.
So generally we end up talking in our mother tongue to our elderly in our family. The answer to that is mother tongue. If you have a physical textbook in front of you, write the answer then and there. If you don't have, then you will need to write these question and answers in your English notebook. You have prepared an English notebook.
Yes, ma'am.
You are supposed to prepare a separate book for English in which we will write the name of the chapter, the word meanings, the question answers. And this book will only be for literature. For the language part, we will have a separate book. So basically, you're going to have 2 books in English. One is going to be literature, one is going to be language. In literature, we will only have the chapters.
Yes.
So if you have your textbook, write the answer in the textbook itself. If you don't have a textbook, you will write this question and answer. Children, whenever you are writing in your English notebook, don't write only the answers. You have to write the question as well as the answer. In fact, I would prefer if you would write the questions in black pen and the answers in blue pen. Okay. Question number 3, please.
Yes, ma'am. Third question. How would you say dilapidated drum in your language?
Dilapidated
idea.
means, yeah, dilapidated means toned. Toned.
Ma'am, Fata
Yes.
Purana Dhol, ma'am.
Yes, Fata Dhol is the answer, dilapidated drum. So, but we have one more word meaning for our list. So that 29 words will now become 30 words because we have plus one word on page number 7.
Ma'am, can you repeat the meaning?
Dilapidated, torn,
Torn.
torn, spoiled, worn out. So what will be the answer? Fata Dhol.
How are we supposed to write that?
Next question is
P-H-A-T-T-A. No, 1 minute, Aditya. P-H-A-T-T-A-D-H-O-L. Fata Dhol. Yes, Aditya, next question.
fourth question. Can you think of a song or a poem in your language that talks of homecoming?
What is the meaning of homecoming?
Returning home.
Who is returning home?
In this story, the author.
No. Homecoming songs are songs about soldiers returning alive from a war.
Oh.
So I don't think we'll be able to answer this question because we are not in a very war type of period. Homecoming after winning a battle, Ayush is correct. So we'll not answer question 4 because we don't have answers to these type of questions. Okay, so thinking about language can be your third homework. Page number 7. Thinking about language. You have to do question 1 to question 3. Question 4 is not to be done. Either in the textbook you do it or you do it in the notebook. Now, page number 8. Roman letter 2. I think we've done it no last time.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. 2 and 3 were homework.
Were homework. Then we have not discussed this homework. Notice the different senses of the word take. To take to something. Didn't I ask you to make a make sentence with this phrase for homework?
Yes, ma'am.
You can tell me the sentence that they have made with to take to something. Nobody has made. Some of you have sent me your homework. Then you must have written no.
Yes.
For the sake of her good health, she took to yoga.
Very good. So that something has to be replaced with something. For example, many people have taken to gardening during the lockdown. That way.
I have written
Now,
this poetry have made children really taken to reading.
very good. To take ill. When you are framing the sentences, stay away from what is happening in the chapter. Someone just posted just now that she has made a make sentence with she took to feeding the sparrows while her grandson was away. So that is very much relating to the chapter. So don't talk about grandmother, grandson, sparrows in your make sentences. Stay away from the chapter while you are making a sentence. But the meaning of the phrase should come out. So now we are talking about the next phrase, to take ill. Anyone who has made a sentence with that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Pratiksha.
My friend was taken ill before the exam.
My friend was taken ill
Before the exam.
just before the exams. Very good. Anyone else?
Ma'am, my
My
friend,
friend was taken ill at a banquet while giving his speech.
Okay. Anyone else?
ma'am, my friend
Uh,
to take has taken ill as he was drenched in the rain.
my friend has taken ill after he got drenched in
Drenched
the
in
heavy
the rain.
downpour. Yeah, as he got drenched in the heavy downpour. Because now see, this is 11th standard. So you have to answer in that level. Okay.
Okay.
So that is question number 2. I think question number 3 was also for homework.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Some of you, when you have posted your homework, you have just given me the list of the words. You are supposed to write the meaning of each word and then put a tick or cross whether it is referring to a manner of walking or not. So what is the meaning of the word haggle?
Bargaining.
Dispute or bargain.
Bargaining. Bargaining is haggling. So does it have anything to do with a manner of walking?
No, ma'am.
No. So it is going to be a cross. The next word is shuffle.
Walk by dragging one's feet
Yeah,
along.
yeah, yeah. Walking in a style where you are dragging your feet. So will this be a tick or a cross?
Tick.
Tick. Stride.
Walking with long, decisive steps.
Absolutely. Taking long steps while walking is stride. So this will be tick or cross?
Tick.
Tick. The next word is ride.
I was not sure about it.
To ride
You
something
should
like
have, yeah, you
on
should have
top of.
opened the dictionary. To
On top of
ride a
something.
bicycle, to ride a bike, to ride a horse, that is riding. Okay. So is it a tick or a cross?
Ma'am, cross.
Cross. Waddle.
Ma'am, what you
Walk
say?
with short steps.
Very good.
Yeah, clumsily.
To walk with short steps, to walk clumsily is to waddle. Tick or cross?
I'm tick.
Very good. Tick. Next word is wriggle.
Twist and turn with quick breathing movement.
Absolutely. Twisting and turning is wriggling. Is it going to be a tick or a cross?
Cross.
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 The next word is paddle.
A short pole.
Short what?
Walk in water.
No, no, no. Paddle is not to walk in water.
It's like the thing used to row a boat.
Yeah, yeah.
Ma'am,
To
it has
paddle your
multiple meanings. Like rowing a boat, paddle is there, and walk in water, which is not very deep,
Yes,
is
ma'am.
also.
that is wading. That
Children
is wading in water.
Ma'am, I looked in dictionary and it's showed and gave the sentence like the children paddled in the stream.
Paddled in the stream because you have these paddle boats. Just like you have a paddle on your cycle, those boats have paddles inside. So the
Ma'am,
children are paddling inside the boat.
Ma'am, I just googled it also and it's showing to walk on water is a meaning.
No, walk on water तो हो ही नहीं सकता है.
Walk in water.
When you walk in water, in shallow water, that is wading. W-A-D-E, wade.
Ma'am, I
Is to
have the
walk.
meaning of paddle.
What is it?
A short pole with a board blade at one or both ends using without a rowlock to move a small boat or canoe through the water.
So you are using paddle as a noun. We want paddle as a verb.
Ma'am, it can be used like the dog paddled across the river.
Yeah.
That
I mean, it's
paddling
right.
across the river, no, that paddling across the river, the children paddling across the stream.
Ma'am, a dog won't paddle in a boat, ma'am.
Yeah,
It would.
so that paddling, no, is the paddle inside the boat that is not walking in water.
Ma'am, but how can a dog paddle in a boat, ma'am?
अभी
I mean,
sentence ऐसा
isn't the sentence right? The dog paddled across the river.
Yeah, it is right if you are willing to accept that the dog is paddling the boat, because paddling is you move your legs in the round manner to paddle so that the the cycle may move forward.
Am I searching Cambridge Dictionary also? Like, it is showing that walking on in shallow water.
Paddling.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. In that case, it will take a tick. So we are saying the meaning of paddle is to walk in shallow water.
Yeah, ma'am.
And that is why it will take a tick. What is the next word? Swagger. What is the meaning of the word swagger?
Walk in a very confident and arrogant or self-important way.
Exactly. So tick or cross?
Tick.
Tick. The next word is trudge.
A difficult walk.
A slow walk. A walk with difficulty. Walk slowly. Tick or cross?
Tick.
Next word is slog.
Move with difficulty or
Move
effort.
with lot of effort. Walk with lot of effort in a certain direction.
Isn't slog working very hard?
Ma'am,
Walking lazily.
that is an informal meaning.
Yeah. And what is the formal meaning?
To walk or move in a certain direction with a lot of effort.
From where are you getting this meaning?
From Cambridge Dictionary.
Okay. In that case, it will take a tick or cross.
Ma'am, it would take a tick.
It will take a tick. So that is the end of question number 3. Was there anything else that was for homework last time?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay. So I need somebody to start reading noticing form, which is on page number 8. Who can read that for me? Is Raj in the class? Raj? Raj, can you hear me, beta? Why is Raj not responding?
Ma'am, he is not in the class.
Then what is this I can see? ZKHIE 2020RN017. This is Raj, no?
Ma'am,
Okay.
there would be a name right across it. The ID. There should be a name right across it.
Yeah, I can see only RAJ. That's it. Maybe that's his incomplete name because it may not accommodate more alphabets. Okay, what about Tanishka?
Hello.
Yes, Tanishka.
Yes, ma'am, I'll read.
Page number 8, noticing form.
Yes, ma'am. Notice the form of the verbs italicized in these sentences. First, my grandmother was an old woman. She had been old and wrinkled for the 20 years that I had known her. People said that she had once been young and pretty and had even had a husband, but that was hard to believe.
In this question number 1, sentence number 1, what is italicized? Anybody? What is italicized? Which two words have been printed in a different format, different font, with a slight tilt? Had known. Can you see? For 20 years, I had known her. Underline had known.
Yes.
Tanishka, read number 2.
Yes, ma'am. When we both had finished, we would walk back together.
What is italicized?
Finished, had finished.
Had finished. Tanishka, you don't say what is underlined, okay? You read, let the others say. Read number 3.
When I came back, she would ask me what the teacher had taught me.
What is italicized?
Had taught.
Had taught. Tanishka, number 4.
It was the first time since I had known her that she did not pray.
What is italicized?
Had known.
Had known. Tanishka, 5.
The sun was setting and had lit her room and veranda with a golden light.
Very good. What is italicized?
Had lit.
Had lit.
Had lit. Okay.
Had-
So in the 5 sentences that are given to us, thank you, Tanishka, had known, had finished, had taught, again had known, and had lit. These are the 5 phrases that they have italicized. Now, what do they want to tell us about this? These are examples of the past perfect forms of the verbs. Whenever you have a had, HAD, that is the past perfect form of the verb. When we recount things in the distant past, we use this form. So when we are telling something about a past that is not a recent past, but it is like that event happened some time ago, a long time ago, then we use the past perfect form of the tense. Clear? So there is nothing that you have to do here about this, but they have explained a part of tenses to you. Now, who else would like to read? Where is Khushi?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, beta. Come to page number 9 and read things to do.
Things to do. Talk with your family members about elderly people who you have been intimately connected with and who are not there with you now. Write a short description of someone you liked a lot.
Very good. So, what is the meaning of the word intimately? Anyone knows the meaning of the word intimately?
Extremely.
Not extremely,
Very
but
closely.
looking at the way it has been used here, it will be closely. Now, let me tell you that even in the comprehension passage, when you have vocabulary based questions, they are asked in 2 formats. Either it is pick out the word from the passage which means whatever. Okay. In that case, you have to look into the passage for a word which is in meaning to what they have given in the question. So you have to write that word and only that word in your answer. Now, sometimes this vocabulary based question in your comprehension passage is also asked as, what is the meaning of the word so and so? So a word from the passage has been given to you in the question itself. Now you have to write the meaning of that word. Now here your answer can go from one word to a couple of words. You can have a longer explanation that you give. But the thumb rule here is that you write the meaning of that word as it has been used in the passage that has been given to you. Now that you are 11th standard, you will be coming across words which have 2-3 different meanings. So you have to give the meaning of that word as it has been used in that passage. Also, if they are asking you to make a sentence with a phrase or a word that has been used in the passage, then the meaning of that word or that phrase should come out through your sentence. Okay, you need to take care of these things. So here the word intimately means closely. So if you understand what the question is, I want you to write a paragraph of about 100 words, which will become a 5-mark question for homework. So page number 9, one question from things to do has to be done for homework. And we have one more word meaning over here now, closely. So word meanings we have 29 plus 3 from page number 4 to 5 plus whatever exercises given behind. Then homework number 2 is page number 6, question number 2. Then homework number 3 is page number 7, question number 1, 2 and 3 from talking about language. Question number 4 is not to be done. And your fourth homework is page number 9. You have one question which is from things to do. So you have 4 homeworks for the class that we will have next week. Are there any doubts that still need to be clarified? Anyone needs to ask anything about the homework?
Ma'am, could you repeat it once more?
29 plus 3 word meanings. Question number 2 on page number 6. Question number 1, 2 and 3 from page number 7, thinking about language. And page number 9, one question from things to do. That is 4 homework in all. Okay, class? Any doubts about the chapters? Any queries about the questions?
Ma'am, how long do we have to write the last question?
100 words, beta.
Okay, ma'am.
100 words for 5 marks. I want to give you a list of the chapters that have been deleted for this year's final exam. If you open to the index page of Hornbill,
The adventure and father to son is deleted, right?
yes, father to son is poetry number 5, father to son, that has been deleted. And the adventure is chapter number 7 from Hornbill, that has been deleted. Now if you take the other book, snapshots, you have the Ghat of the Only World, which is chapter number 6, that has been deleted. And you have Tale of the Melon City, chapter number 8, that has also been deleted.
And can you once again repeat it?
From snapshot, we have chapter 6, the Ghat of the Only World, and chapter 8, that is Tale of the Melon City.
Ma'am, and from Hornbill?
From Hornbill, we have chapter number 7, The Adventure, and we have poem number 5, Father to Son. That is 4 chapters that have been deleted from your literature section. Next time when I have some more time, I will tell you the list of topics that have been deleted from your written section, your composition section, the language part of the chapter. Okay? Can I wind up the class over here?
Yes,
Ma'am, you can send it in the group too.
Hello, students. हेलो
हेलो
हेलो मैम, लेक्चर फिनिश कर दिया आपने?
जी मैम, फिनिश।